So HGA have dropped some really interesting news this morning as part of their weekly update, and I think you're all going to want to see basically what it is. Hey everyone, Dan the Cardman back again. Welcome to another video. So I actually had something else planned to drop today that will get now pushed back to Friday just because HGA gave an update as part of, they dropped some pretty cool news today as part of their weekly update, I should say. So they do a weekly update, obviously on a weekly basis, but there's a really interesting portion to the back end of that, which I'll get to in a second. So I just wanted to get in front, get this out today, and then we can do the other video later in the week. Basically, if you're unaware, HGA have had significant issues over the last few months with regards to a backlog and delays, and it's been really disappointing. I've done a few videos on that. I might do some pop-ups on the screen because it's something that they've said from the get-go that they wouldn't do, right? And if you watch my channel, if you follow me closely, you would know I've commented on this a few times. So their update firstly is just talking through some of this backlog. They've got it down to now 45 to 53 days on top of whatever order you basically put through in the past. So if you had a 60-day order, currently you're looking at 110 days to get it turned around, which is a bit crap. I'm not sure how accurate this is, to be honest, because judging by some of the forum posts, some people are still sitting there at like over 120 days. So I'm not entirely sure, but they've got now a $62,000, not dollar, but 62,000 card backlog. Now, the reason why I want to do this for you, and what they're saying is the rest of this post is about some really cool things that they're doing. And this is something I theorized or basically said that they should do many months ago. And what it is basically something like this. So previously, if you haven't used HGA before, what would happen is once you submit your card, you'd get the option to do like the different color options, right? You'd do the custom label, the splash, or the OG label, right? And the way that would work is you'd specify which one, and then in terms of picking the colors, you'd say card match, jersey match, so on and so forth, right? And what would often happen is the label wouldn't look as good in hand, and it happened to me with a couple of mine that I maybe would have done something differently, or the colors don't quite match, right? So what they're doing now, and like I said earlier, this is something that I suggested to them many months ago, is that when someone's submitting the card, you should give them the option to pick the colors themselves, right? And if you look at HGA's pain points and what Tyler has said over the last 6 months, is that they're spending a lot of time getting these custom labels prepared, right? And getting these label colors selected. So putting this onus on the customer themselves, on the submitter, is really good for two reasons. One, and make sure that the person submitting is getting what they want, and it's going to be in line, basically, like I said, with what they want, and they can pick the colors and there's going to be no dramas there. But second, and more importantly, it's going to cut back on a lot of the time, or a lot of the hold up associated with their grading, because it means the artist will spend less time basically designing these labels. Obviously for customs, it'll be a bit different, but it'll also basically mean spend less time getting it done so it gets out the door faster. So that's really good. And the other point here is also really cool in the sense that it's not just color splash and the OG label that you can pick from. They've also got now a huge backlog of these custom labels that you can choose and select for your card, which I think is really, really cool, which is what they touch on over here. And they're saying they want this ready basically in the next 4 to 6 weeks, or they anticipate it being ready in the 4 to 6 weeks. And that's really good. This is going to be something that's, again, in line with what they're trying to do within the industry, be an innovator, be a disruptor. This is a good thing. Again, it's disappointing that they've had this backlog and they've dropped the ball and they've shot themselves in the foot and they've done things that they said they wouldn't do. And if you recall, when they first came out, they basically said they're not going to have backlogs and things like that. They're here for the collectors, which turned out to be untrue. It is what it is. But things like this is why people should use them. And hopefully they get on the front foot, get it working, and it works like a treat. The other reminder here is basically saying they want the submission. They're going to reduce their submission limits to 3,500 cards per week, just so they can better focus on that backlog. But what's interesting here is there's a video, and I'll play it now and you can watch it yourself, but basically this is how it sort of will work. You pick what background you want, pick the colors. Obviously when this is live, you'll have an option to choose the label type as well. So it won't just be the color splash, you'll also have the option to do, it's showing the color splash and the OG label. You'll also have the option to do, or select from one of the custom labels they've designed over the many months. But again, like I said, this is a huge game changer for them. This should help them remain on top of the work they're trying to do, and basically make it easier for collectors to get their cards and give people what they want, which I think is always a good thing. And it's basically what they were designed to do in the first place, right? So then get on top of this. It's very good for the hobby. I really like this. I think, to be honest, I won't be surprised if some of the other graders start doing stuff like this as well with custom labels. It's not like, it's one of those things that it's like, okay, why did we wait so long for it to happen? like why it took so long for someone to try and innovate like this. But once it's innovated, it's not like it's very difficult to implement, right? And if HGA start doing really well with this, you wouldn't be surprised to see maybe not PSA or BGS or SGC in terms of their stock standard labels or their grades, but maybe they might implement a PC slab themselves. And if it is a PC slab, they might let you design your own label, right? So let's see how it goes. But I just thought I wanted to give you guys this news. Pretty cool. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Give me a like and a follow if you haven't already. Let me know basically if this is going to be a decision point for you now to basically go with HGA if you haven't gone with them already, or what your thoughts are on HGA, or whether you're someone that's maybe been burned based on what they've done recently and you don't want to deal with them again. Like, I'm sort of on the fence. I think I still like them as a company. I definitely will still send a couple of PC cards, but maybe won't be as eager to do it as possible as I was previously, right? Because I think the backlog needs to be sorted first. But that's sort of it. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.